Welcome back to talkersofgeeks.com. We are now on episode 2 of Moon Knight, and got a lot to talk about this one. A lot more has happened in this one, and very interesting concept, which I really which we will discuss a little bit. And I'm gonna go first this time. I enjoyed this one as well. It's not so far, it really isn't that much action, and I think that's I'm lowering a little bit my expectations when it comes to more action, because they're really trying to establish the relationship between Mark and Steven. And
I think this episode had a lot more action than the first one.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. Yeah. But I it's still a little bit more focused on the characterization of Mark and Steven, and them trying to, I guess the journey is them trying to become in sync and one with each other, because they're bickering a lot, and especially in this episode. But it was a really good episode, especially because we get introduced to Moon Knight's alter ego, Mr. Knight. And one thing I really did like about this was that each personality controls one aspect of Moon Knight. So you have Mark, who controls the suit version, and then you have Steven,
which is referred to like as Khonshu's armor.
Yeah, right? Yeah, which is Khonshu's armor. And then you have Steven, who controls the Mr. Knight version, which he he was definitely the comedy relief in this episode.
Again, outfits are absolutely clean. Like, I'm gonna say this, like, off topic for the episode. I'm gonna tell you, Comic-Con is going to have a lot of like Mr. Knight, like that. If anybody who puts on, like, first I'm gonna say this: don't go out there and just buy a white suit. Like, you're gonna have to buy like the suit to wear this, because Marvel did an excellent job putting this together. The colors, the look. I don't even know what the color is, because it's not even like a white. It's not an off-white. It just looks good. Maybe it's the camera editing or whatever. The suit just looks really good.
Yeah, I remember we was watching. I was like, is this CGI or is it practical? I can't tell in certain shots because it looks so crisp.
Yeah, because I mean, the first thing he says is put on the suit, put on the suit, put on the suit. So you're expecting like the entire Moon Knight thing to come out, and it's just like, no, the suit changes to an actual suit. And the one thing I was just like, oh, okay, well, maybe this is just like, this is what Steven would, imagines himself as. But still the same power, the same vulnerability, the same strength, everything. Whichever outfit he's wearing, he's, like, he is in full garb. It's just that you can tell now when Mark is in control or Steven is in control. So it was episode 2 added a lot, but like, go ahead, Justin. Let's get into more about the episode.
Well, what happens is now we get introduced to a new character, which is, I believe, Lila, and we find out that she's actually Mark's wife. So, so it makes me wonder, from the past episode, did Steven really make that date? Or did Mark make that date and just realize, like, oh shit, I'm married. We were not going to this date that Steven stood that girl up on.
Yep. So, I mean, it just seems like one of the things I like is just, it's a weird, I want to say it's okay. Halfway through the episode, and I remember saying this to you, I was like, you know what, this is going to start to piss me off, because it's like, if these two don't get it together, like the bickering back and forth, when they're fighting about who should have control, that's the only thing in the episode I will say gets a little bit annoying, and probably would get annoying as the series goes on. It's like, look, dude, pick, like, I'm trying not to give too much away, because you're gonna want to watch the series, and I don't want to say anything to like give the episode away, but it's like, there's a point where I'm like, look, dude, your life is in danger. Let the man do what he has to do. Stop with this. Like, you want to live or you want to die? Like, he's telling you basically, like, look, this is going to be some shit. Like, let me take over and let me do what we have to do, and it's just like, oh, no. I don't want to I don't want any more blood on my hand. Like, yo, come on, dude. Look, you want blood on your hand or you want your blood coming out? Pick one.
Exactly, and it's just like pick a personality at this point. When that, and I think for me that was probably like the biggest turn off of the episode was just like the constant, like it's constant. It's kind of like, no, I'm not. You're not getting in control again. Oh no, I'm going to take control. He takes control, and then you find out a little bit more about the control aspect. Like whoever controls it, they get the person controlling it gets a little bit more stronger to preventing the other personality from taking over. But we also get more character motivation on Ethan Hawke's character, who continues to do his preaching.
I mean, like he it's kind of like a cult thing. You're just sitting there like, oh, here we go. I mean, there's a point where you're just like, oh boy, here comes the cultist. But it's deeper than that. And I'm gonna tell you, like, as you go on and you're watching more episodes, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than him just being like this leader and preaching this nonsense. And you start to find more about Conchu. There are certain things I'm not going to give away about this episode. I mean, I felt like we gave away a little too much, but
yeah.
His character gets deeper. The explanation Steven gets an explanation about what his life has been like, who he is, what's going on. I'm going to tell you, at times it's really weird, and at times you're just kind of like, can I really? You start to catch up, like, well, whose life is real? And it's this is where it's becoming like a fun ride to figure out like what they're going to do. And I'm going to tell you, like, as the episodes go on, you start to it gets deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole. You start to really be like, okay, and that's what I will say about Marvel with a lot of their shows. If you just go by the first two episodes, you're probably going to be like, if you're not into it, you're going to have to hold on and keep watching, because I tell you, it's better. It's just, I think it's a shame that they keep these series to 6 episodes, but I think the reason why they do it is because they're not trying to make this a series. These, I think, are introductions to characters that you're probably going to see in the MCU eventually.
Oh yeah.
And not that you're going to see them in MCU as a movie, but they're going to be supporting characters. They're going to be somebody that they're going to pop up on the screen, and you're going to be like, oh, you know how we all get in the theaters, like, oh, this person finally shows up, and that's how it's going to be. And so I do like what they're doing with Mark. They're giving you like a really good background on who Moon Knight is, what the struggle is, and what's going on. And I'm here for the ride. I tell you that much.
I definitely agree. I did enjoy episode 2, and we won't going to spoil anything, but it does such a good job of character study, more of especially Ethan Hawke's motivation. I was not expecting that. When we've learned more about him, learn more about Mark, learn a little bit more about Steven. So it's like I said, it's getting there. It's slow burn, but it's getting there. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next. And we are going to wrap up this review. This is Justin and Sean from TacosGeeks.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And of course, you can follow us on all social media channels, Twitter at Tacos and Geeks. You can follow us on Instagram at Tacos and Geeks, Facebook.com/Tacos and Geeks blog. And of course, TacosandGeeks.com. Make sure you browse and check out all our interviews, reviews, and much more. Later days, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.